I've been threatened at least 4 times with the LMPD. They told me to stay safe, and this is where I feel safe, but they didn't care.
You know, they came
They
in here.
let me take my tent the last time they were here, and
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
4 officers gave her 5 minutes to get her stuff and get out. When you're never in this situation, you don't know what to do.
I've been out here since January, first time ever been out here. So I'm just like totally lost. And there's no help. There's no help at all.
No, 14 years. We heard been together 14 years.
We've been together 14 years.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done.
It's okay.
Did you ever have any run-ins with the police when you were sleeping outside?
Yeah.
That
doesn't
drug me down the steps,
So a police officer dragged you down the steps?
yeah, and I said, you can't do this to me. Yes, I can, and I'm doing it to you, and he pulled me down the
Wow.
steps.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't hurt me, don't drop me now, I'll get out of your way. No, I'm gonna take you there.
Since the Supreme Court grants past decision, over 260 communities and growing passed laws to fine, ticket, and criminalize homelessness. One of the worst is the Safer Kentucky Act. And we're here in Louisville to talk to advocates and lawyers and service providers and homeless people about how finding and arresting homeless people only makes homelessness worse.
Metro Police. Hello. I'm Lieutenant Stewart from Louisville Metro Police Department. All right, I'm afraid it's unlawful to camp out or sleep on sidewalks.
So we're just gonna stop here and go through this break in the fence. 12 to 14 people had camped back on this property, and they're gone. All of their stuff is removed, but we're told that they moved closer to the expressway. So we're just gonna walk down closer to the expressway and see if we can locate them on either side. Hey y'all, you're exactly who I wanted to see.
Where you live?
Right down here, yeah. I got a blue tenant right over here. Before this law, they were real big on if you kept it clean, they usually left you alone. But now this new law, they're messing with all the homeless now. So it's been pretty rough, actually. They tend to move us around quite a bit, almost every other day at least, if not more. My old tent's still over there. It got flooded first, and then after it got flooded, the city told us if we went back to try to salvage anything, that they would take us to jail for criminal trespassing because it's private property. So we couldn't go back and get all our stuff. So all our stuff is it's sitting over in water, ruined.
Oh my God.
And here's our new tent. It's extremely tight. We both sit up in a fetal position. He gets most of the room. Like I said, we had a 6-man tent with a front porch right over there, but it got flooded. It was huge. And then St. John's actually got us its tent. It's the only one they had, so we got real lucky.
Have you lost all your stuff?
Yes, I've lost my stuff 3 times now.
Everything you need, your water and everything, you got to lug back in here by foot.
Yep.
Or wherever you are, and then you got to move it every time the police.
Yeah.
Got to move all your stuff.
Yep.
Everything I have.
Oh my gosh.
And they literally give us 5 minutes.
5
Yeah.
minutes. They
5
give
minutes.
you 5 minutes to move.
Yes.
They put on a stopwatch and hit that stopwatch.
And they tell
And then
you
they
whatever you
time
got.
it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
Whatever you got in your hands, at the end of that 5 minutes, you go with. If say my bag is there, like my book bag, it has my ID and everything in it. Say I didn't get to grab that and put it on my back, a cop will hold it and tell me I can't touch it.
Yeah, they will. It's
They did
pretty
it
ornery.
to me.
It's pretty ornery. They show it with a city truck with a big claw in the back of it and a bobcat. There'll usually be a group of city workers with at least 2 squad cars usually, and there's 2 officers in each, so there's 4 officers, and there's usually 2 white Durangos that have homeless services, and they're police as well, but they have bulletproof vests that say homeless services on them. And so there's about 8 cops in total and then a group of city workers.
That's a lot of money that could go to housing you guys.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Unwanted. I was on Section 8 housing list for 11 years, but I didn't have my ID or my social, and it was really hard because here, to get to the Social Security office, you have to have an ID to get in. In order to get an ID, you have to have a Social Security card, so it's kind of catch-22. And my mom got murdered in November 5th, 2009. She was raped, strangled, and put in a suitcase and thrown behind a dumpster. And I pretty much gave up on life, and here I am.
How old are you now?
I'm 35. It happened when I was 19. My wife and I have went through St. John's, and they have actually did our voucher, and we're supposed to be getting housing in Indiana within a week or two. So it's things are looking up slowly but surely. But I've been let down quite a bit being homeless, so I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. But I'm also trying to keep positive. We just move around and just try to find spots as we go. I'm a walking nomad.
Walking nomad.
We don't have large encampments anymore. We have small pockets of folks that try to keep out of the police's way. We used to have large encampments where outreach could go and reach lots of people at one time, connect people to lots of services at one time, really removing barriers, everything from redocketing court cases to getting people connected with housing assessments to medical care, medication, where we were able to do that in a coordinated effort. But since they passed HB 5, that has ceased because we don't have large encampments anymore.
Hey, it's working. We don't have large encampments anymore.
But we still have just as much homelessness. It has not changed that. We're not miraculously getting people into housing. Our city is over 30,000 units short of affordable housing. We have hundreds of people on our sidewalks every night.
And then depending on where you're sleeping at, every noise, every sound you hear, it's like you're on pins and needles. It's hard out here trying to find a way to eat, sleep, be safe without worrying about somebody hurting you or somebody trying to take you to jail for something that wasn't your fault or something you can't prevent or help. We've been homeless now for almost 4 years. I mean, I get money every month, but I can't afford housing right now because it's so expensive. And when you're out here and you can't get your ID or your social to try to even make it to get a job, how can we do it when we can't even take a shower to be presentable for work? All we can do is take our day by day with strides. All we can do.
If we're a compassionate community, instead of running the homeless out, why don't they put porta potties out so they can have a place to use the restroom? They keep complaining about feces all over the ground. Put a bathroom up. When they do Derby, they got 500, 600 of them suckers out there. I mean, they can't put one somewhere in town.
We're just human. People make mistakes, but we're just human.
People are going to ask, what's the bruise from?
Walking down the sidewalk in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and the sidewalk was uneven. Planted right here, and right here. That's my second time. Yeah, and nobody cares. There were people literally at the stoplights, and nobody stopped out. Man, it was crazy.
Well, people don't understand basic needs like going to the bathroom or finding water.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Going to the bathroom is the thing for me. I
Hardest
was a
thing.
girly girl, okay? That's me. I'm a girly girl. I'm a princess, is what he said. But just going to the bathroom and stuff like that, it's a big thing. There's literally nowhere
to go,
and it's such a lost feeling. Yeah, I worked for a hotel down the street. I worked there. I stayed there for 2.5 years, so my rent was free. I lost my job. I had 72 hours to get out. We walked these streets literally for 24 hours trying to figure out what to do. If it wasn't for his mom helping us, we would have made it. She put us up for like 20 days in a hotel. And
but
that's what she could do.
That's all she could do.
Yeah, and that was great. But yeah.
I never thought I'd be sitting right here today, but here I am. Here I am.
But without him, I don't know where I would be for. I would be probably dead. That's truth. But this is it. This is what I've seen here lately. I've been packing down every day and hiding the tent, and it's a process, and it's so you're walking around trying to figure out what to do. Where I am, he's usually working.
We try to keep our place clean. We're drug free, and we're just trying to make it out here. I work seasonal work, so if it's raining, I'm not working. I don't make a lot of money. I get paid by the day. It can be $80 a day, it can be $40 a day. But no matter how we walk these streets or do what we do, we're garbage to everybody. And everybody's eyes, we're garbage.
And honestly, we both have thought about suicide, but that's just nice thing. We're here for a reason, we don't know why. But it's hard.
The Safer Kentucky Act is kind of a blank check for any law enforcement to approach and question anyone who appears to be without a home. The portions of it that were focused on criminal justice included a 3 strikes law, which has been proven to be absolutely terrible everywhere it's been implemented, unfair, unjust. And even if you don't care about fairness or justice, it's ineffective. It doesn't work to decrease crime. But then, of course, the other part criminalized sleeping on the street, or appearing to sleep on the street, or being on the street with anything that could be used for sleeping. If you are deemed to have possession of camping paraphernalia, which could include a blanket or a pillow, and you are on the street, that is sufficient for law enforcement to cite you. It was also made an enhanceable offense, which means that once you've been charged and convicted once or pled guilty, the next one is an arrestable offense and you can be taken to jail.
And they claim there's nobody getting cited. You know, they said, oh, there's only like 2 or 3, or are a lot of people getting cited? Are a lot of people?
Yeah, a lot of people are getting cited. Oh, I have a list just right here of everybody who was cited, or every citation for either criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, which some of that is being used in lieu of unlawful camping. In every unlawful camping case, this is just for the month of March. So yeah, people are being cited. I think it was like 120 or so.
We're told they're starting to do the criminal trespass to keep the citation numbers down.
I think so.
Have you received citations?
I've received 2 citations now.
Yeah, when you're downtown, you get a citation down there. They give me a citation, I had to go to court for that, and I'm supposed to be going back to court. Well, really, it's still ongoing right now.
When you're unsheltered here, they treat you as a criminal and less than human.
Are you seeing an increase in getting harassed by law enforcement?
Yeah. Threatened pretty much daily.
They told me to go to like Wayside Christian Mission. They can only hold so many people, and then they got to turn people away. And by the time you get from here down there, they're already full every day. And you got to have your bed reserved ahead of time.
The homeless bed reservation phone line is open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Our office is open for walk-ins Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you are single or a family in need of an emergency shelter bed reservation, press 0. If you are calling,
Coalition for the Homeless.
Hello, yes, I'm calling because I'd like to make a bed reservation.
For a male?
Yes.
Do you happen to be under the age of 25?
No, I'm not.
I don't have any men's beds available for tonight. You could try the Wayside Low Barrier Shelter at 3 or the men's healing place at 3:30.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a good day.
If he didn't get off of work until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they stop accepting people after a certain amount of time.
Shelters don't work for people that work.
And they draw the numbers, your number don't get called, so now you're stuck without a bed anyway.
Right.
And see, and that's a waste of time.
Yep.
I don't.
Yeah, because that's a lottery as well.
And see, and this is actually the spot where we had a good experience with the homeless patrol. It was actually good that day, but then the next day, that's when and where I lost everything. I had just got up to make my way to the McDonald's a couple blocks down, and as I crossed the street, I see the garbage truck and the police vehicles pull up, so I don't think nothing of it, and I saw the homelessness services on their vests and jackets, so I thought they were just coming to, you know, say hello or whatever, because the same female officer and another officer came and, you know, they asked how we were doing and did we need help with anything or was everything okay? So I didn't think nothing of it. I go about my way, and when I come back, my friend, she's gone. I just automatically assumed when I saw services, homelessness services, maybe they helped her to a women's day shelter, but I was told that she walked off, and I actually caught up with her. She let me know that they gave her 5 minutes Words really can't even describe it. They're right there on the spot, ready to just throw your life away, basically. And what you can't gather or carry is discarded. It's stressful, it hurts, because besides the clothes that I had on my back, that was everything that I owned. ID, pictures of family members, and just, you know, things, like I said, sentimental value that just can't be replaced. There's no monetary value. It is a struggle having to, you know, set up and take down my tent every day, move to different locations just to be out of the line of sight. So I won't be cited or receive a citation, which I won't be able to pay.
I did a 25 hours community service for a $150 fine that I received the first time.
Do you have any income?
No, sir, not at the moment.
So how are you going to pay for a citation?
Yeah.
Costs just over $70 a day to house an inmate at Louisville Metropolitan Department of Corrections. Now, the fine for unlawful camping is $250, which our folks don't have, or 90 days. $71 a day, it's about $6,300 that it ultimately costs the taxpayer to incarcerate someone for the charge. And that bill goes to the state level and then gets charged to the federal government. So the taxpayers would be paying over $6,000 per charge if this ends up in jail time. And the person ends up with a criminal record, which makes it harder to get a job, makes it harder to get an apartment, makes it harder to establish themselves and get back on their feet. It's moving backwards.
Makes homelessness worse.
It makes homelessness worse.
The Safer Kentucky Act, in my view, does not do anything to make Kentucky safer. You have to draw a line directly between money and outcomes. The people that are funding these sorts of organizations who draft this legislation are companies and individuals who benefit from increased criminalization. They are folks who maybe run companies that do better when more people are in jails and prisons. The organizations that put forward this kind of legislation, they're not attempting to solve the problem of people having to live on the street. They're attempting to improve their return on investment and shareholder value. They have profit-driven interests.
And guess what they're trying to do here? They're trying to build a new jail. It has a price tag of $300 to $400 million. That new jail, we know, first of all, jail is hell. And if they build it, they're gonna fill it. And they're gonna fill that on the backs of unhoused people by using House Bill 5. And even though they set up citation court, we see more people getting citations for court. And those citations, when you don't have any money or nowhere to go, that's low on your list of priorities. And so that means these citations add up and they turn into warrants. They turn into arrest warrants, and then people end up in jail simply for being poor.
Yesterday, he was on a public sidewalk, right? He's laying there, not asleep. He's just laying there. So police roll up on him, cite him again. Now he has another one May 28th, and y'all probably have it coming across soon. And then what? Then what? It's the same thing. They're wasting resources.
We're spinning in a circle.
Right. We're in a big trud of mud, pressing the gas, and the wheels are just turning.
Is not present with us today. Defense motion to continue is Commonwealth's motion for a bench warrant in the amount of $500 unsecured.
When people that are out on the streets get a citation, they have to show up to court. And advocates arranged for this court, which is a good thing. The whole thing shouldn't exist. I mean, the amount of money taxpayers pay for this is insane when that money could actually go to solutions that prevent and solve homelessness.
We heard one man was connected to the VA today. Everybody's gonna applaud. See, criminalization works, but they don't have housing. And let's be honest, if the VA connected to that man while he's outside, this whole dog and pony show, none of this would even be needed.
There is still not house keys at the end of treatment. There's still not house keys when you get out of jail. Here's the real big thing is like, let's just say that Johnny was on a housing voucher list and Johnny was to go to jail for longer than 90 days. Well, Johnny ends up getting knocked all the way off of the housing voucher list because Johnny is no longer considered unhoused, being incarcerated.
We are a member-led grassroots organization that builds political power with poor and low-income folks that have been directly impacted by the war on drugs, mass incarceration, HIV, AIDS, and homelessness. The folks that I work with that have been unhoused and are now housed, it is an amazing blossoming of a human being to watch people go from the sidewalks into housing and then get the support services that they need and go on to just be rock stars. There are people that I've known for years in this work that are now housed and in programs that support them mostly as a whole human being and not just part of who they are, and that is what we all need. That's what I need. When I was struggling, I needed somebody to see me not as the problem that I was, but as the person that I am that was struggling. And I think when we change that view, we make a big difference.
I was unhoused for 15 years. I am a recovering drug addict. I'm a 4-time convicted felon. I am a person who now is housed. I am a person who has a career. I have a beautiful little girl. And in 2022, life changed for me. Housing changed my life because it gave me the option to have something that I wanted to fight for, because being on the streets, it never gave me the ability to want to get sober, because why? Because it's so hard out here living in a tent, and sometimes you just want to escape the reality of having to deal with life on the streets.
What Lieutenant Stewart said is, well, people just need a little bit of friction, and if they have a little bit of additional friction, they're gonna get off the streets. I can't imagine thinking that living on the streets alone isn't enough friction.
Could you talk briefly about what happened with Samantha?
Samantha was in active labor and was with her husband, who had gone to try and find a phone to call for an ambulance when Lieutenant Stewart was doing his kind of normal sweeps of different areas. He came across her.
If you could please start EMS this way. I've got a lady here that says she's going into labor.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Ma'am, how far along are you? Ma'am, you need to stop. Stop.
I'm being detained.
Yes, you're being detained. You're being detained because you're unlawfully camping. How far along are you? They're asking for EMS.
I'm due October 29th. I'm going to my husband.
She states she's due October 29th. Okay, no, ma'am, you need to stop.
I gotta go to the hospital.
Code 3, please.
I'm walking out to the street.
I've got EMS. I just called for EMS.
Hey, what am I doing wrong walking out towards the street for EMS?
Fine, let's walk out towards the street then.
Damn.
Ma'am, come over here right now and stand over here. Right over here. Now.
You don't have
Get
to
out of the street.
You don't have to holler. You don't have to push me. I'm coming
out of the street.
You don't have to push me. I'm coming.
Stay right here. I have EMS coming.
Okay, but you don't have to holler. You don't have to push me. I haven't done anything to you.
Okay, Miss Crankberry, I assume that's the EMS coming for you, okay? All right, I'm issuing you a citation for unlawful camping, okay? You can't camp out or sleep on sidewalks, underneath underpasses or bridges, and we've warned you about this before, okay? You've got a court date on November the 8th at 9 a.m. at the courthouse at 600 West Jefferson. If you fail to appear, judge may potentially issue a warrant, okay?
Writing a homeless woman in labor a citation is insane.
Yeah, and I mean, what she did, you can see it on there, is she initially crumbled up that citation and tossed it aside. That would be my first reaction. Samantha then went and picked it back up and showed up to her court date. Chief Humphreys later came out and said, yeah, okay, maybe I wouldn't have written the citation in that moment. The thing is, there's a paternalistic attitude. We know best, we know what needs to happen, and you're gonna do what we think you should do. They said very publicly, well, she was offered services multiple times and refused them. I spent a lot of time trying to dig into when was she offered services and what was offered. And the reality is that what I've been able to get documentation of suggests only that they said something to the effect of, why don't you try going over to Up for Women and Children? And here's the thing, she did. She did take advantage of what was there. The problem is there's no housing.
It's miserable. Everybody looks down their nose at you. Everybody thinks they're better than you. Nobody wants to help you. We had the city come in on us twice and throw everything away on us. All of our belongings, clothes, tents, everything. Even our kids' personal items. With no warning at all. We just try to keep to ourselves and not bother nobody. We had an apartment through a housing program, and they switched landlords, and everyone in the apartment got evicted. And since we have an eviction, then she can't get housing help no more. That was 2 years ago.
So when you get a trespassing like that, do they give you any place to go?
They give you the option of going into treatment. That is it. And if you don't have a drug problem, why do you need to go to treatment?
And when you get out of treatment, you're still homeless.
That's right. That's right.
With no place to go.
That's right. That's really a struggle day to day to live, just to survive.
When homeless people are downtown, pushed to other parts of the city, what happens is they go to residential areas like this. If you are frustrated about homelessness, I know I am, everybody should be, housing is the only permanent solution to homelessness. Otherwise, you live in a nice residential area like this, they're coming. Criminalization is gonna push them right to your backyard, and criminalization just makes homelessness worse. How many times have you had your stuff thrown away?
Oh, probably 20 times. And sometimes they don't even tell you what they're gonna do it, they just do it.
It makes it hard to survive.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
What's it feel like?
Oh, it sucks, man, because it's all you got, man. I mean, you're out here on the streets, a lot of times carrying around your backpack or whatever, that's all you really have. And when they take all your shit, man, it sucks. You gotta start over again. It's sad that you have to get used to it, but it is what it is, I guess.
I can't imagine living outside, much less, not knowing where tomorrow you're gonna be because they keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. Right. Without offering real solutions.
Housing is the only solution. Housing first, housing initiatives, shelters who are 24 hours, who are low barrier, who let them bring their pets, who connect them to medication and treatment and services. That's exactly what we do here. But when we're not open, we see more and more of our folks arrested and cited.
The people supporting, fining, arresting, criminalizing homelessness don't tell you that there are solutions that actually prevent and solve homelessness, that save taxpayer money and save lives.
Welcome to the Arthur Street Hotel. In the last 2.5 years while we've been open, we have moved about 275 folks from the street and into permanent housing. About 60% of our exits are to permanent housing, which is way beyond what national and local averages are. We noticed that people were losing their housing vouchers on the street. They were going through the process, working with outreach teams, being awarded the housing voucher, and then unable to work through the housing navigation process. So the Arthur Street Hotel serves as temporary shelter for folks as they are going through the housing navigation process. We are the lowest barrier that we can possibly be while preserving community safety, because that is really important to us. But what we find is that hotel guests are accountable to this community because we are loving and welcome them. And we work with people through behaviors that might otherwise not fit into our societal expectations. What are the root causes of those behaviors? Are they survival behaviors? Are they a result of trauma? Are they a result of persistent mental illness? Are they a result of substance use? And do people want to change? We don't require change, but we encourage people to be the best versions of themselves and really figure out with them if that looks like what they're doing, or what that could look like in housing, what that can look like on any given day.
A year and a third I've lived here. I like it here.
Yeah? Where did you live?
Everybody's really great.
Where'd you live before, Dolly?
On the street.
Yeah? What was that like?
Not good. It was cold, icy, and it was just really bad. I don't recommend it.
It was a lot of paperwork that you had to sit through.
Oh, yes, I'm getting my own apartment. Yes, and I signed a lot of paperwork. It starts about that big.
We can move someone to permanent housing here, move them into the hotel, care for them for 6 months, get them to a point where they're moving to permanent housing while addressing other systemic issues along the way, whether it be mental health, physical health, or just barriers that are created by a system that is totally cruel and just grinds up people and spits them out. We can do that for cheaper than you can jail them for 1 year. You can do the same with a small investment that will actually strengthen your community. I beg you, meet people where they're at on the streets.
Homeless people will get a voucher. It's a really good thing. And then they leave it up to the homeless person who doesn't have transportation probably, may not have a phone, may not have access to charging a phone, may not have the skills to negotiate with a landlord. Correct. But once there's a voucher, oh, here you go, and they detach from it.
The process is, it's really difficult. The times that I've moved from home to home, it's a process.
Yeah.
And to move from a tent to a home is nearly impossible without assistance.
Right. It's an alternative to criminalization and a response to the broken voucher system.
Both.
Yeah. Homeless people are not service resistant. Services suck. Many services just are not adequate, or they are nasty and do not provide dignity. Services are actually people resistant. I love the Arthur Street Hotel because it's a great example of how we need to design services that provide dignity and provide homeless people with what they need, which is first housing, then access to mental health and treatment, and it's a path on to permanent supportive housing. But there's not enough housing. So I understand you run a day shelter.
Yes.
Which is a men's thing, right?
It is.
And then you have 80 units here.
Yes.
And you need 800 units.
We do. We need 1,537 units to be exact, right, by the list. Sheehan Landing is our first housing development. We've been doing permanent supportive housing since 2008, but for a long time, right, we've yearned for a broader solution, which is what we have here. Housing first, right? Housing plus services in one location so that the support people need is very accessible, right? And the supports that we are making the most accessible are case management. This building is staffed 24/7 by behavioral health professionals, by our staff, and then some other partners as well. And then medical services and all sorts of other things that help people usually get out of homelessness, but for people who are now housed, it helps them get stable. She moved in just a few months ago.
Yeah, she's here now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Arthur Street just left.
Dolly. Hi. See the freezer? All that
Wow.
room because it's got plenty of room for ice cream.
What does it feel like having your own place?
Oh, it's nice. I like all the people over. I like all the people over at the other place too.
Place
I like
challenges.
people.
So the first time that I met Dolly, she couldn't see clearly. What she could see was shadows. So like she could see your silhouette. So it was really remarkable to be able to get her from being outside to into Arthur Street. And then she's been at Arthur Street for a while and she's made significant progress there. We were able to schedule her to get surgery for her glaucoma. The doctor had never seen any glaucoma that bad.
And she was living outside.
Yes. I mean, she managed to make it work to survive out on the streets. She's been able to go back to the grocery store. That's one of her favorite outings other than getting her hair done. Me and Dolly have been on this trip together.
Dolly
Oh, I love that.
She will correct me.
Yes, and then I mean, it's Dolly.
Right, we don't
Yes.
nice up the film.
An intercom. You're gonna get somebody at the front desk or in the case manager's office.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you
And there he
are.
goes.
There you
So,
are.
Bruce.
We're back in the future, you know.
Yeah.
Dolly is from streets to temporary accommodations to permanent supportive housing.
Yep.
This is the alternative to criminalization.
Yeah, and it works.
This is how you end homelessness.
That's right. Yes.
Take a picture with me.
What?
Take a picture with me.
Yes. Yeah. Right here in front of the empty plate.
Yes. So they could, where do you want to stand?
Over there next to the stove.
Okay,
I
let's
think
stand
that's a
right
great
next,
idea.
next to the stove.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
Perfect. Good.
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Dolly was outside homeless with glaucoma. Now she's got her own apartment. Can you imagine if there was no laws to fine, ticket, and arrest homeless people, that we just provided them the support they need to get off the streets into housing? All this madness of courts, lawyers, police, sanitation, paramedics, everything just goes away. Permanent supportive housing, there's treatment, there's mental health support. This is what works to prevent and solve homelessness.
Human beings need housing, they need food, they need water, they need a safe place where they can live and thrive. This is about bringing a community together and having a safe and healthy community. You can't do that if you exclude people from your community. And that's what cities are doing all over the nation right now. They're excluding their most vulnerable populations. They have an opportunity to fix that right now. This is a seminal moment in the history of the United States. And we have choices we can make. We can go down the right path or we can go down the wrong path. I'm just hoping we choose the right one.